How did Greenland become the world's most strategic island? And why, in 2026, is everyone still talking about it? Greenland, the world's largest island, over 2.1 million square kilometers of ice, rock, and increasingly global attention. An island covered 90% in ice doesn't exactly scream hot real estate, but right now this massive frozen territory sits at the center of conversations about resources, climate change, and geopolitical power. How did a place with just 57,000 people become so important? The answer takes us back over 1,000 years, through Viking explorers, vanished settlements, and colonial powers fighting for control. Let's start with the basics. Greenland is enormous, more than 3 times the size of Texas. Its northern coast is the most northerly piece of land in the world. Technically, it's part of North America, sitting on the North American tectonic plate. But politically and culturally, it's been tied to Europe for over a millennium. Most of Greenland's population lives along the southwest coast, with the capital Nuuk being home to about 1/3 of everyone on the island. Despite its massive size, Greenland has fewer people than a small city, 57,000. You've probably been to shopping malls with more people on a Saturday afternoon. The earliest inhabitants were Inuit peoples who migrated from North America starting around 2500 BCE. These migrations happened in waves with distinct cultures including Independence I, the Sakak culture, and the Dorset culture. The final major Inuit migration is called the Thule culture, arriving around the 12th century AD. When the Thule people reached Greenland's southwest coast, they found something unexpected. Norse settlements, Vikings, Europeans living on Greenland. Imagine completing this incredible journey across frozen waters, and suddenly there are bearded Scandinavians running around. Talk about a plot twist. But how did Norsemen end up on Greenland? The story centers on one man, Eric the Red. According to the saga of Eric the Red, he was originally from Norway. When Eric was about 10, his father was found guilty of manslaughter, and the family was banished to Iceland. Eric grew up there, but inherited his father's hot temper. After disputes turned deadly, Eric was banished from Iceland entirely. Where do you go when you've been kicked out of the place? People go when they get kicked out. Eric had heard rumors of land even further west. With few options, he sailed into the unknown and found it. Land almost entirely covered in ice and snow. Eric explored the western coast for 3 years, then returned to Iceland to recruit. Here's where Eric shows his marketing genius. He called the territory Greenland to make it sound appealing. It's basically medieval false advertising. And incredibly, it worked. 25 ships left Iceland. Only 14 made it, but they established 2 main settlements near modern-day Qaqortoq and Nuuk. Life was brutal, but the Vikings made it work. At the peak, between 3,000 and 6,000 Norse people lived on Greenland. They hunted seals, walrus for their valuable ivory tusks, and whales. Eric's son, Leif Erikson, became even more famous, sailing further west as the first European to discover North America, centuries before Columbus. Leif also brought Christianity to Greenland, and the first bishop was established in 1126. The Norse settlements lasted for centuries, but then something strange happened. They vanished. The last written record dates to 1408, describing a marriage ceremony. Then silence. In 1540, a ship landed at the eastern settlement and found a corpse of a Norse man, but no living people. Just one dead guy and empty buildings. What happened? Climate change likely played a role. The medieval warm period ended, and the Little Ice Age began, making conditions even harsher. Trade routes may have shifted, cutting off supplies. The Black Death devastated Europe, possibly disrupting supply lines. Some evidence suggests conflict with Inuit groups. Others think the Norse simply abandoned the settlements when things got too difficult. Probably a combination of all these factors created a slow accumulation of, "This really isn't working anymore." But Greenland wasn't forgotten. In the 17th century, Denmark reasserted control. Danish missionary Hans Egede arrived in 1721, hoping to find the lost Norse Christians. He didn't find any Norse people, but established new Danish settlements and began converting the Inuit population. Greenland officially became a Danish colony. In the 20th century, everything changed. During World War II, when Nazi Germany occupied Denmark, the United States moved quickly. Greenland's strategic location made it vital for defending North America. The U.S. established military bases, including the massive Thule Air Base in 1951, which remains operational in 2026. After the war, Greenland's status evolved. In 1953, it officially became an integrated part of the Kingdom of Denmark. But the push for self-governance grew stronger. In 1979, Greenland achieved home rule. Then in 2009, the Self-Government Act gave Greenland control over its judicial system, police, and natural resources. Denmark still handles foreign affairs and defense. But Greenland is increasingly independent, moving slowly toward full sovereignty. This brings us to 2026. Why does Greenland matter so much right now? Three big reasons. First, climate change. Greenland's ice sheet is melting at an accelerating rate, affecting global sea levels. But it also opens new shipping routes through the Arctic that could cut shipping times between Asia and Europe by thousands of miles. That's economically transformative. Second, natural resources. Greenland sits on vast deposits of rare earth elements, minerals crucial for modern technology. Your smartphone, electric car, and laptop all need these materials. As the ice melts, these resources become more accessible. We're talking potentially trillions of dollars worth of resources. Suddenly, Greenland isn't just strategically located, it's potentially one of the richest territories on Earth. Third, geopolitics. Major powers, including the United States, China, and Russia, all see Greenland as strategically vital. Control over Arctic shipping routes and resources could define 21st century power dynamics. The question of full independence from Denmark remains active. Many Greenlanders want complete sovereignty, but independence comes with serious challenges. Greenland's economy currently depends heavily on subsidies from Denmark, around $500 million annually. Developing infrastructure to extract and sell natural resources requires massive investment that Greenland doesn't currently have. And navigating relationships with global powers while maintaining sovereignty is incredibly complex. Here's what makes Greenland's story so compelling. This island has always been at the crossroads of cultures and powers. Inuit migrations, Viking exploration, Danish colonization, American military interests. And now, as climate change reshapes the Arctic and nations compete for resources, Greenland finds itself more strategically important than ever. The decisions made in Nuuk today by 57,000 people will echo through the rest of this century and affect billions. The story of Greenland teaches us something profound. Geography shapes destiny. This massive island has drawn people for over 4,000 years. From the first Inuit hunters to Viking explorers to modern nations vying for influence. Greenland has always been more than just ice and rock. It's been a gateway between continents, a resource waiting to be tapped, a strategic prize in every era's version of global competition. And in 2026, as the ice melts and the world watches, Greenland is writing its next chapter. One where 57,000 people hold the keys to resources and routes that billions depend on. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content, connecting the past to our present, and I'll see you in the next one.